A few years ago, I thought I knew exactly what this channel was going to be. I wanted to go back to the remote trout streams my dad took me to when I was younger. Places deep in the Maine woods that most people never see. That was the original idea behind Old Man Outdoors. But, life kind of had other plans. Over the years, my shoulders got worse. One of them is, pretty beat up. Then I tore my right bicep after a fall while I was deep in the woods. At the same time, I'd gotten way overweight. I was exhausted all the time. I hurt all the time. And honestly, I stopped feeling like myself. I think a lot of people hit that point in their 50s. You wake up one day and realize you've slowly drifted away from the person you used to be. The hard part is it doesn't happen all at once. It happens a little bit at a time. Less movement, more pain, more excuses, more putting things off until later. And eventually, I realized if I didn't change direction, well, right now, retirement was going to be arriving before I was really physically or financially ready for it. So this channel, became something different. Instead of just revisiting old trout streams, this channel is going to become about rebuilding, getting back into shape, taking control of my finances, preparing for retirement instead of pretending it would somehow figure itself out. Since January, I've gone from 235 pounds down to, just under 190. Not through magic, not through, some program, just consistency. Been walking, changing how I eat, drinking less, trying to fix years of neglect one day at a time. At the same time, I've been rebuilding the financial side of life too, learning investments, paying attention to retirement, trying to make smart decisions while there's still enough time left for those decisions to really matter. Part of this journey has also been dealing with, old military injuries. A lot of a lot of veterans know exactly what I mean. You spend years just living with things and you work through the pain, you ignore the problems, and eventually those problems catch up with you. So I've started going through the VA claims process too. That's been frustrating at times, confusing, but also kind of eye-opening. I may talk more about that process on this channel because I know a lot of other veterans are trying to figure this stuff out too. The bigger goal behind all of this is freedom. My wife Jenny and I want to spend retirement traveling. Not luxury travel, not resorts all the time. We want to go to campgrounds, back roads, mountain mornings, Army Corps campgrounds, military campgrounds, boondocking, quiet places. And to do all that right, I've been trying to think about the perfect setup. Finding what kind of truck I want to get, outfitting it, how I'm going to need it for a support vehicle, finding the right camper that we can learn to live in, learning solar, water systems, storage, power. Yeah, everything lets you stay, everything that lets you stay out longer and live simpler. So this channel's going to follow all of it. The wins, the mistakes, You know, the financial side, definitely the fitness side, and you know, the outdoor side. You know, the retirement side, and probably a few disasters along the way. You know, I don't have this figured out yet, and I'm not pretending I do. This channel isn't about, you know, being an expert. It's about trying to build a better second half of life before time runs out. And, you know, maybe helping a few other people along the way do the same. So if any of that sounds familiar, stick around. We've got a lot to build.